The days are going by so fast, you wouldn't believe it. If I told you I've been trying to get this done since 3 o'clock this afternoon because of my crazy evening, and here I am with a crazy afternoon that's just leading to a crazy evening. And God, by Friday went just as fast. Ooh, excuse me. Uh, but Friday went just as crazy, which then it was like 7 o'clock before I realized it was Friday, and I didn't do a live with Tony. So here I am on Monday, just as nuts. It's all good. It's good nuts. The good things are happening. I'm in Windermere, Florida. I did a Brain Fitness Academy session today, which I thought was just great in terms of working with some folks that are looking to figure out how to improve their memories. And I talked to him. It was a very interesting article that I got from the current issue of Environmental Nutrition. And this is all about, do brain health supplements actually work? And it was cognitive function. So research was talking about what the various elements are that they put in these supplements, are there any real studies that have been done that show a direct relationship from what the supplement is and what its impact is on cognitive function and brain health. And the conclusions they reach are, you got to watch and read the supplemental ads very carefully, because the Food and Drug Administration warned, a report they put out in 2019, that the supplements or enhancements may be ineffective, unsafe, and could prevent a person from seeking an appropriate diagnosis and treatment. The agency issued warning letters to dozens of manufacturers of supplements. It may come as a surprise that the FDA does not have the authority to review the dietary supplements of any kind for safety before they're made available. Or after the fact. I always remember the coaching I got from Tony Buzan, who was my mentor on these topics and things. And Tony always said to me, do not take supplements and these drug promises that are going to help your brain. There's things you can do that are external to that, which are not going to demand that you do anything in terms of ingesting things that may actually do harm and go the other way to your brain health and things of that sort. And here comes this article that's in the current issue of Environmental Health and Environmental Nutrition. And let me just make sure I give you the right. I want to make sure if anybody look for this. This is the May 2022 issue of Environmental Nutrition. It goes on to say that they did a sampling about the safety of these supplements because they are experimental drugs. And so Dr. Cohen, who comes out of, I think, Harvard, where's Dr. Cohen, talks about this. God, I got to get the sneezes here doing my broadcast. Tested a sample of the brain health supplements and found they contained unsafe levels that are not FDA approved. Despite issues and letters of warning from the FDA, some of these supplements are still being sold. While the secret combination and doses of supplements for brain health may be discovered sometime in the future, the best advice to date is to eat a healthy diet that provides fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, rather than relying on proven supplements. So my alternative to that, as I learned from Tony Buzan so many years ago, is there are things that we can do to modify or help enhance your brain function. And that starts with mental challenges. And so Tony always used to say to me, there are memory techniques that people can learn. It's a skill. And I learned at that point to take the word memory and not just treat it as a noun, meaning, hey, memory, it is what it is. You were born with it as you were born, and that's the end of it, and there's your life. But memory is a verb, meaning there are activities and or tasks and or techniques and skills that you can learn that can make a difference. So my alternative for those folks that are worried about their brain health, rather than just ingest some supplements that FDA are saying, hey, not a good deal, not suggest you go do this, But if you're worried about your memory, dementia, Alzheimer's, there's enough of research that's coming out now that says, hey, there are some things you can do to protect your brain health and things you can do to improve your memory. And as the founder of the USA Memory Championship and having run it for 22 years, I've got enough of data of people who have entered the competition, we call them mental athletes, that have shown the progress that they've been actually able to make with their own memories. As long as they were willing to have the desire to want to learn what these systems and methods and techniques are, mnemonics, etc., and they were willing to learn them, and they were then willing to what? Practice. And it's like exercise. So we say your brain is like, teaching your brain how to do these things is like a muscle, and you got to practice and use the techniques and skills. It just doesn't come to you just because you said, gee, I want to make my brain stronger. You got to do some work. You got to learn what the techniques are. You have to have the desire and the passion, the energy to want to then practice what these techniques are. And then you got to follow through with that from a periodic basis. Now, I'm not saying you have to become obsessive about it. You need to do it every day. But if your option is, well, gee, as one doctor said to me once, he said, people want the easy pill. And they don't realize that sometimes they have to change their habits. They need to change the things that they do that bring different heart diseases and different illnesses that we now know can be altered by changing diet or changing life's habits. Well, your memory is in that same fashion. It's like a muscle, and you can change some of your habits of what you're doing in terms of your daily activities. So we talk about mental challenges, not to be challenging so complex and so difficult for you, but might you learn some different memory techniques that help you to remember people's names and faces a little bit better and make it fun that each day as you go about your day, you want to remember the names of at least 3 people that you met. Now, it's not for the purposes of, oh God, I got to remember 100 names. It's for the purposes of exercising your brain in a way that has a pragmatic application, remembering people's names that you meet. And you may see them again and remember their name, and they'll think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. How about social interactions? What we've seen, and I read today, yesterday's paper, actually I read today, talking about the impact of social isolation is beginning to show up in the amount of people that have become addicted to drugs and alcohol and even leading to suicide. And so social isolation is another one. So how do we get people socially engaged? We know that social engagement is a vibrant source of strength for our brains. And one of the recent broadcasts I did even talked about some research that suggested a positive, uplifting, beating, wonderful social interaction can last you 2 or 3 days to where you feel uplifted that you were able to have it, and then you look forward to the next one. So if you can schedule 2 great social interactions twice a week, I mean, you've done something that can be extremely helpful to yourself. If you follow what I call the gig principle, good in, good grows, then you can also find a few good things that you can find about your day that make you feel good. It brings a positive energy to your body, and it keeps positivity in the forefront as opposed to watching TV sometimes. As in the class today, we talked about the negativity of watching news sometimes, and people are watching it at night and then they want to go to sleep and have a good night's rest. And I'm like, I don't watch the news after 6 o'clock anymore. If I want to watch something, I'll tape it and see it in the morning when I'm doing my exercise or after I do my run. So I'm finding different alternatives and ways to maintaining good, strong brain health that does not require you to be an experiment on whether this supplement or that supplement are going to work. I think a lot of research needs to be done on supplements, and I think as that research evolves, we'll find out what the secret sauce may be, but I don't think we've got it yet. So that is my broadcast for tonight. It is Monday, so we're running around the corner, April 11th. We have Easter coming up in a few days' time. Have a good week, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday. I hope you have a good week, and yours has been off and started with a good Monday. So we'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good week.